Shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rukakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, and safety to all the Akim out there pushing this truth throughout the four corners of the earth and to the hopeful elect out there. This is the brother Hadabia coming back at you with another one. And in this quick little lesson, I'm just gonna go into the fact that we have to endure. We have to endure and finish this race. There's a crown that we're trying to obtain through the mercy of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And in order to obtain that crown, we're going to go through many trials and tribulations, but we are to endure and not give up. Don't lose patience, like some of these, false prophets out here and men that come and go in and out of this truth. They lack patience and they lack belief in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and they rather go back into this world, go back into utter darkness, than continue to battle, and fight, and fight for something, that with all our heart, mind, and soul, that we believe in, and to us of the us hopeful elect, there's no other way but the way of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So this is 2 Timothy chapter 4. I'm going to start in verse 1, but the point is in 7 and 8. I solemnly urge you in the presence of the Most High and of Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, who will someday judge the living and the dead when he appears to set up his kingdom. Preach the word of the Most High. Be prepared whether the time is favorable or not. Patiently correct, rebuke, encourage your people with good teaching. So that's what the Lord is commanding us to do. We make the videos. We're out there on the highways and hedges, warning Jake of the coming destruction, warning Jake of the chip, the MOTB that Esau is going to enforce, and we encourage also, and then we encourage Israel to come back to their true power, come back to your heritage, because the Bible is only meant for the Israelites, and that's you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and indigenous, Aboriginal people. You are the people of the Most High, of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and come back to your true power. We before coming into this, before the Lord tapped us on our head, we were lost. We didn't know, we had no purpose, or we thought we knew what our purpose was, until you learn about the names of the Father Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai, and you just try to do better. Verse 3, for a time is coming when people will no longer listen to sound wholesome teaching. They will follow their own desires and will look for teachers who tell them whatever their itching ears wants to hear. And that's Jake. That's 2/3 of our people. They want to hear the good, smooth stuff. They don't like the harsh rebuke. They don't like the fact to hear that they're going off, or that they can't do this, or they can't do that, or they need to stop doing this, start doing that. Our people don't want to hear that. Verse 4, they will reject the truth and chase after myths. And that's Jake. They'll believe everything under the sun except for, the Bible. They'll believe in all these other religions and believe in and horoscopes and crap like that, instead of believing in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Verse 5, but you should keep a clear mind in every situation. Don't be afraid of suffering for the Lord, for the Lord. Work at telling others the good news and fully carry out the mystery the Most High has given you. As for me, my life has already been poured out as an offering to the Most High. The time of my death is near. I have fought, this is the point, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have remained faithful. So that's what we do. We gotta finish this thing. Lord's will, get through Jacob's trouble. Don't take that chip, you know, deal with the bullshit. Pray that the Lord will keep his spirit on us, and continue to have faith, and finish this thing that we started. Verse 8, and now the prize awaits me, the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will give me on the day of his return. This is what we envision. We envision Yahweh Shai, personally, giving us that crown, personally, saying, good job, and that's just amazing. That's just amazing feeling, knowing that everything that, the Lord has put us through, and, him, obviously, Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, knowing, what he has put us through, and the fact that we still endured and remained faithful is going to be, words can't explain how good that's going to feel. Um, and the prize is not just for me, but for all who eagerly look forward to his appearing. So that's all of us. That's all of us of the hopeful elect. And that's starting off with our apostles, elders, and bishops, a great millstone, and down to the brothers and the brotherhood. We are all hoping to finish that race, to obtain that crown. Lord willing, we all make it. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25. And every man that striveth for the mystery in temperature and temperate in all things, now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. So the people of this world, they want to obtain everything, the high statuses and titles, of the world. But we, we're looking to obtain, an incorruptible crown, that is going to last forever, and that is going to outweigh anything that could ever be obtained right now here on earth. I therefore so run, not as no, that was the point. Where did I start from? Let me read that again. I don't think I read verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. So we gotta run. Everyone has to run their own race. No one else is gonna help us finish this. Each man has his lot. Each man has his battle, fit for him. Each man has his own story. So, we are all to just run, run and run towards the goal. And that goal is salvation. That goal is that crown. And that crown is a symbolization of salvation through Yahweh Shai. This is James 1 and 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. So it's promised unto us that we love, that if we endure, love, believe, fear, trust, don't give up in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that he's going to reward us. He's going to reward us with a crown because he knows that those that endure to the end truly, truly have loved him and have always believed in him against all odds. Matthew 24:13, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this is red letter. This is Yahushua speaking. He's telling us, you endure until the end, you're going to be saved. If you believe in me, trust in me, forsake everything, for him and believe in him. He's going to save us. He's going to be with us. Even, and we have to believe in Yahushua even up until death, because we know that, some of us are going to have to go out that way in order to magnify the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And, obviously, we don't want to die, we want to, make it through to the end. And we know it's not as death. It's just, we're just sleeping, but even that in itself, to die, to be, I just, they talk about the guillotines, and you can just imagine, just, whichever one of us end up having to do that, we know that, in the Lord's eye, that's like, so that's our sacrifice. That's our sacrifice unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We're willing to do whatever it takes in order to make it to the end, even if that means death. I lost that verse. This is Matthew 22:14. For many are called, but few are chosen. So many people are called into this truth, but not everyone is going to be chosen. Not everyone is going to make it. Only a few select are going to make it into the end. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this. So a quick one. So we just have to continue to endure, and to obtain that crown. We want that crown, and you can only imagine just how beautiful the crowns are gonna be. Yahweh Shai knows exactly what we like. He and it's just that's just beautiful. Each man just having his own personal crown. Only one that was made and fit for him. Only one that can go upon his head. And, Lord willing, we make it to the end and endure to obtain that crown. So I'd like to close out by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. I pray this lesson was edifying. Lord willing, till the next one, Shalom.